About 7 or 8 years ago, before COVID, obviously, we were working for one of the largest companies in the world in Midtown Manhattan. And one of our subcontractors was there, a young kid, and he was there just to move some furniture. And while he was there, they asked him, or one of the facilities people asked him, "Can you, while you're here, can you fix that picture up there, straighten that picture out?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to do that. Plus, I don't have a ladder." And like, "Oh, we'll give you a ladder. Don't worry, it's fine." Well, sure enough, he falls off the ladder and breaks his arm. This was probably like this happened probably like the end of the summer. So then around November, I get the cold shoulder from my client. No one's talking to me, and I'm getting very suspicious. Next thing you know, I get a letter from their lawyers. Next thing you know, I get a letter from my insurance company that they are suing me and everybody else in existence. The insurance company, Travelers, if I may say, immediately dropped me, even though I'd never placed a claim. I had a $10 million umbrella to work in Manhattan, every building in Manhattan, which is where we do the predominant amount of work. And I couldn't work there, couldn't get into any buildings with the certificate of insurance because I didn't have an insurance company. So I struggled. I went 2 solid weeks of trying to find an insurance company that would insure me under these conditions, and I couldn't find one. So a friend of mine who's a CEO of a company who gives me a lot of good advice, I asked him, and he put me in touch with Chris, who worked incredibly hard. And literally, my policy ran out December 31st. We got insurance on December 30th. That allowed me to stay in business. It was one of the most hectic, stressful times in my life. I'd been in business for 15 years, never put in a claim. And I said to him, "Why, this case hasn't even been adjudicated. Why are you dropping me?" And they said, "Well, we expect that this is going to cost at least $100,000 in legal fees. So we're dropping you because of that." And they dropped me. And then thankfully, Chris found an insurance company that I've been working with ever since. And it's been fantastic. Saved my life, saved my business. And if it wasn't for Chris, I wouldn't be in business today. I've spoken to people since, and I would say that 50% of the people in business that I've spoken to about this, where this has come up, have had a similar experience. They weren't all fortunate enough to have a guy like Chris to help them, but they had to go through some hoops to stay in business. And in most cases, it ends up costing you double what you were paying. That wasn't the case with Chris. I mean, he got me affordable insurance. I had found a couple companies that on my own that were so astronomically priced that, to pay $60,000 a year in insurance for my company was not going to happen. I mean, as it is, we pay 30. Sure, we're like a full service furniture dealership. But we try to get a little bit more involved with our customers as far as helping them with space planning, design. We have designers on staff. We make custom furniture. We do refinishing, reupholstery, reconfigurations, window treatments. Some of our clients are Microsoft, Wells Fargo, NYU Tisch School of the Arts, various other state and government organizations. So we have a really it's lucky that we have the account base that we do. We don't really do a lot of advertising or any advertising. Everything's word of mouth, and that's how we like it. We try to stay boutique. So once we get a customer, we can really walk them through from the first initial phase of their project all the way through to completion, and then hopefully they're our customer going forward. I don't know if you could sneak this in there, but I will say another thing about Chris. He is the ultimate gentleman. Positive, supportive, and that's pretty much everything you want when you're in that kind of condition or that kind of shape. You don't want somebody saying, "Oh, this could be a problem." He never says anything like that. just like, we'll get it done. We'll figure it out. And that's what I like to hear. It's so refreshing to find a guy like Chris. Like, I mean, I really don't know how he makes his money. I don't care how he makes his money, but he's just a good dude, and I that's it, you know. So I would highly recommend.